Greetings and salutations, this is Jarsz, the biggest YouTuber ever! And good morning, Jarsouls! Welcome to another edition of the Daily Jarsz for the 20th of November, 2023. Coming to you from the nation that is now the Cricket World Cup champions again! Woohoo! Members, let's see some corgis in the chat to celebrate. A special shout out to those who clicked subscribe yesterday. Welcome to the world of Jarsz. I hope you enjoy the show. Today we take our fortnightly look at what Level Earth Observer has been up to. To help me get into Adam, I have a special guest. But before I bring them on, I want to thank my YouTube members. Yes, thank you once again for all that you do for me, and thanks for being part of the huge ass movement. And thanks again to Siggy Sigwell for all the new members last week. I'm still rethinking how to present them, and yes, I haven't updated it, so I'm slack. So hopefully I can sort that out soon. But meanwhile, let me recognise those new members. Armageddon's Fire, Peter Harrington, Siggy Sigwell himself, Professor Phil Bell, Phil de Ork, Zeo Gold, A Madman, Clarence AS2, Rich 901, Tinker Phil, Igor, Mr. Unite for the Chill Wind, Edison Carter, Facty, Dart, Peter Noddle, Didge Redo, Dr. Nimrod, Lady Moonweb, Paul's Heart Attack Support, and Doc C. And now it's time to welcome our Leo busting guest, everyone's second favourite, after me, of course, Mr. 42.
Good day, gentle people. How are you today?
No reaction? Oh, okay. Oh, we got Blue Bubble Science here. Hello, Blue. Good to see you. And good to see you, Mr. 42. This is the first time I think we've actually spoken directly before.
That might be true, but my memory is not all that well, so we might have done it before. I don't know.
Well, maybe your holographic data banks weren't updated correctly then.
I think it's a bit fragmented.
Yes, it could be. Do fractals and things. It's good to see you. It's you're back after a bit of a break.
I had some bit of a break indeed. Because of a break, I'm in the middle of a divorce, had to move twice this year, had some other things on my mind before YouTube videos, but I'm all settled and back in business.
Yes, life can intrude on videos, can't it? And
Absolutely.
You need to have energy spare to be able to do a video, and that was the break I had was because I was so busy at work. I just came home and didn't have any energy to do a video. So, but yeah, I'm sorry to hear about the situation, but hopefully you're on the other side of that now and heading up onwards and upwards.
I'm in the middle of it, but happy and here I am, so all good.
That's good to hear. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff, yeah.
What was I going to ask you?
I don't know.
Oh yes, YouTube demonetized you because of the break.
Yeah.
And I've been encouraging people to turn on one of your playlists and leave it running in the background. There's a link to that in the description of this video. So please do that if you can. But how are your hours going? Are you getting them up now?
That is actually quite funny because I was still active last November and December. It actually went down a little bit. I did notice that after your shout out on your stream last week, the view count did go up. So people were trying to help and were watching the videos. Just the total number of watched hours in the last year didn't go up, but that is not anyone's fault except my own.
No, well, thanks to all those who tried to give Mr. 42 a bit of help, and please continue to do that. Like I said, the link's in the description. Just click on it and leave it running in the background with the sound off if you want. If you don't want to watch it, maybe you watch it the first time and just keep it running, and that'll help him get his hours up and get him remonetized.
Yep.
So today we're going to look at Level Earth Observer. I do this every 2 weeks, alternating between him and CC because they seem to be everyone's favourite. Where's Wally? You're disowned. I'm your favourite. So he's done 4 videos since we last looked at him, and I'm only going to look at 3 of them because one of them was just him projecting, basically, and it was rather boring. So let's have a look at the first one.
I'm going to try and defend what we're going to watch today. It's an old clip from the old Skylab supposed space station era here from the 70s. And what we're going to see is just pure silliness of the highest order. So this is the clip in question. Skylab space station.
I would agree with Level Earth Observer. It will be silliness of the highest order. The problem is he doesn't really recognise it as such. Oh, we're joined by Miss 5.
Miss 5. She's usually called Little Miss 21.
Little Miss 21, all right. I was thinking if you're Mr. 42, so, but you can name her.
I didn't name her, my audience did.
Oh, right, okay.
My name for her is Alessia.
Right. Welcome to the show. Let's have a look at Level Earth Observer.
NASA 1970s space. We've got the 3 so-called astronauts here on the space station in a so-called weightless environment. They're holding up a barbell set, 2 of them, for their pal here, which supposedly has 500 pounds on each end.
I would have thought the fact that this is stuck on with tape would be a clue to Adam, but apparently it wasn't.
Yeah, the only thing that's missing for him to understand it is the Acme sign.
Yes, and a coyote.
For example.
What, 450-ish kilograms, just under half a ton here. Of course, that should be nothing.
And you know what I don't understand is he's basically missing the point that why would NASA go to the expense of flying half a ton of weights up to Skylab just to do this?
Yeah, for a short video, hell, that's not gonna happen.
I think back in those days it was something like for each kilogram was like $100,000.
At least.
You know, that's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they didn't get as many hookers and blow that day.
You got me there.
I got you there.
Because they're in a weightless environment, supposedly. So it's strange that he's needing his powers to hold the barbell set up in the first place.
And that's the other thing. I mean, if this is 500 kilograms, most people can't lift 500 kilograms. In fact, I'm not even sure what the world record is. That would be a world record, I would have thought. And yet these 2 guys are holding it either end.
They have to hold it or do fly away.
Yeah. He's not using his brain, is he? But then again, he never does.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not something he does that often.
Strange the amount of effort he seems to make here. Taking the weight and then lifting it. Again, considering he's supposedly in a weightless environment. And then what makes it even stranger and just takes the mockery off the charts here is if you watch the actual so-called weights themselves, near the end of the exercise, you can see they act like balloons. We'll play the clip.
Leo, they don't act like balloons. They are balloons.
Yeah, this is what Leo would say right now.
I don't entirely know exactly what's going on.
That's the motto of his life.
Yeah.
Without me stopping it, then we'll come back, turn the sound down, and just rip this silliness to pieces. So let's have a look.
The continuation of their mission was welcome news to the Skylab astronauts who had become accustomed to their weightless environment.
Oh, this clip is better with us pretending to help him.
Yes. Well, I noticed he didn't, when they released each end, it didn't suddenly go right down, did it?
No.
Like it would.
Assignments were conducted with ease. The astronauts found they had extra time and requested flight planners to develop additional useful tasks for them to perform.
So it's just a bit of fun they were having. That's all it is, Leo. But it's an actual pantomime, and yet Leo can't recognize it.
No, the one time it really is pantomime, he doesn't see it as pantomime and he doesn't use the word pantomime. What do we say to that?
Oops. Yep.
So now I've turned the sound down. Just look at this. So he's got his pals holding this 450 kilogram weight here. He's like, for NASA I can do this.
Sounds
That
like
is Leo
Leo's
doing a number
had
two.
Yes. He was a bit constipated from the sound.
You got this. You got this. Yes. Hang on a minute. It's wobbling like balloons there, lads. You should have done it slower. You gave the game away. Quickly, lift him up. It's a weightless environment.
They meant to give the game away. It's a bit of a joke, Leo. Do you not recognise that?
Honest. And again, this is obviously a silly pantomime setup.
Oh, he does recognise it.
Oh, he does say it. Sorry, I missed that. Sorry about that.
With like balloon type props here.
Not types.
That are supposedly very heavy weights. But look how it wobbles there. Ready? Wobbling about all over the place.
Yes, because it's a joke, Leo.
Remember, this should be effortless anyway, because
It was. You can see it was, you idiot.
he's supposedly in a weightless environment. So he should be able to lift this with his one finger, but he's gone over the top here with this.
Yes, over the top means it's a pantomime. That's the point.
Ready? Let go, lads. Go on, you can do this. Go on.
Extra toilet paper to crane number 4.
Go on. Go on. Use your legs now. Go on. Ridiculous. Is anyone going to come here and try and defend this?
There's nothing to defend.
Exactly. God, he's an idiot.
I think I stole that from Wally's video. There's nothing to defend. I think he said that quite literally.
Yes, well, in fact, it was on the thumbnail. Yes, Wally did a really good video on this too. So I encourage you to go to Where's Wally's channel and have a look at his video on this.
Yeah.
Does he actually say anything else in the rest of this video? I can't remember now.
I can't remember either.
Actually, I'll speed him up. And let's see if there's anything else worth commenting on.
These weights that look like balloons. This weightless environment that supposedly requires loads of effort to lift something that looks like balloons. They cannot keep their story straight. They're supposedly in a weightless environment.
So now it's all conspiracy. It's meant to be a joke, Leo. It's not about keeping stories straight. They had a bit of spare time and they wanted to have a bit of fun. That's all.
Yeah, our mate here is struggling to lift 450 kilos. But then we look at the weights. It looks like a couple of balloons stuck to a broom handle. Absolutely ridiculous. Go on.
But that's because it is, Wally. That's because it is Leo.
Don't blame it on Wally.
Whoever made this clip was either telling us the silliness that is space, or was just having a laugh.
Just having a laugh, Leo. We shouldn't call him Leo. We should call him Adam. But anyway.
Those weights wobbling up and down there. One last time. Go on, son. You can do this. You can lift these 2 balloons on a broom handle. We'll have all these people here thinking we're in a weightless environment, orbiting something that's scientifically impossible because of this clip. Go on, son. Go on.
But it's demonstrating it is a weightless environment, Adam. It's so obvious.
I'll lift them balloons. And then we'll get the harness team to lift you up there. Go on. Never mind the fact them balloons are wobbling and they're meant to be at nearly half a ton. Whee! Lift him up. What a pantomime performance. So over the top. And yet people will believe this, Tosh.
No. Oh, what happened there?
What did you do?
Him. Oh, no, this is
okay.
I just
sorry.
got the coincidence, yeah. This is...
That was confusing.
Yeah. Oh, he does look at the payload's costs.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Cost
Oh,
was
yeah.
paid in the 70s. Between 1970 and the year 2000, the cost to launch a kilogram to space remained fairly steady, with an average of cost being $18,500 per kilogram. Okay? So now we do the math, and we get a figure when we add up the weight of that barbell set. It turns out that barbell set, just to get to so-called space, cost the American taxpayer over $8 million.
Where do you get 453 from?
I think he did the pounds to kilogram stuff. So that could be correct.
Well, it didn't actually say whether it was pounds or kilograms. I guess for two of them, maybe. Yeah, okay, yeah. For two 500 pounds, it might be 453 kilograms. Yeah, okay. And he's saying it's... and this is the point I made. This is why it's obviously fake. It was just a bit of fun because it would have cost a fortune. And he's saying, oh, they're putting it on.
Got to be the most expensive barbell set in history. So this is what an $8
If it
million
was
barbell
real,
set
but it's
looked like
not.
back in the 1970s. Oh, what a bargain. A couple of balloons stuck to the end of a broom handle. Bargain. And the American public paid for this, and no doubt many people believed this silliness. Look at it. Expensive.
I don't think
Nobody
anyone
believed
it.
this. No.
It's so obvious that it's just a bit of fun that I think I've had enough of this one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at the next one, which will be of particular interest to you. So what I'll do is I'll play Adam's video, and then we'll have a look at your video on it.
So I'm gonna be just silent now.
Yeah. Well, we can comment on it as it goes through.
Well, it's taught demonstrable reality in space. Well,
Yeah,
rockets
let's do that.
work in a vacuum. I hate to break it to you. Here's a practical reference highlighting that fact. We've got a rocket in a vacuum chamber. We're going to see it expel its gas here in a minute as it attempts to move and prove rockets can fly in a vacuum. The problem is, as we can see from the footage, or we're gonna, this rocket doesn't move whatsoever until the gases being expelled by it start pushing off the walls of the vacuum chamber. There's no walls in space, fantasists, which means the fantasy world of rockets flying through a vacuum is just that, a fantasy. It doesn't move until the gases start pushing off the side wall of the vacuum chamber.
So actually, let's go back just a little bit.
Okay.
Just watch this
Start
bit.
pushing off the side.
Yeah. Hang on. Maybe a little bit more. Is that it? I wish I could slow this down, actually.
It's just that, a fantasy.
Now, see there. So what Leo's saying is this doesn't move at all until that hits the wall. But you'll see for a few seconds, it's still hitting the wall and not moving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a matter of when this builds up enough thrust before it starts moving. But he's essentially saying when it hits the wall, somehow that force is magically transformed back along this stream, which is going the other way, and to enable this to move that way.
Yep.
He hasn't explained it at all.
That's something I pointed out in my video as well, yeah.
All right. Well,
Or
we'll
I
get
try
to
to.
Let's just be honest, Leo, though, and show the rest of his video.
It doesn't move until the gases start pushing off the side wall of the vacuum chamber.
So magic
There's no
is
walls
his answer.
in space.
Yeah.
Therefore, rockets have nothing to push off. Nothing.
Should point out this is a clip from Action Labs, another excellent channel. He does lots of science and a lot with a vacuum chamber. So go and have a look at his channel as well.
Yeah, there's actually a new vacuum chamber that he's testing right here. It's a bigger one.
Yeah, because he usually has a very small one because it's hard to do a vacuum chamber. You need really strong walls.
And a
Anyway.
good pump.
Rockets
And a good pump, yes.
don't work in a vacuum. It's a practical reference that can be tested and verified by all. It's a great representation and visual here for fantasists to look at and see that this doesn't move until the gases start to push off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
And it's a great representation for idiots to misunderstand what they're looking at.
And of course, as I've already stated, there are no walls in so-called outer space. Oops.
Oh, was that you or was that Leo?
That was Leo this time. I can do it as
Oh,
well.
Oops. There we go. All right, so let's have a look at your response to this.
Yeah.
I will speed you up a little bit because 11 minutes.
Sure.
Well, we're not going to look at all 11 minutes because you go into Mikey Smith.
Yeah, the second half is Mikey Smith.
Yeah.
What's Mikey? Yeah, Mikey. So we're not gonna watch that today. You can skip the intro as well.
All right. Where do you
Yeah, you go
start?
there.
About there? I know that's your members.
Yeah.
We respect your members too, but let's start there.
It's level Earth observer. And yes, Adam, I will call you a flat earther, despite your objections. You may not want to be called that, but your own video descriptions are evidence that you are indeed a flat earther. I also recommend not abusing the copyright system. Such actions tend to bite you in the behind real fast.
Well, it's taught demonstrable reality in space. Well, rockets don't work in a vacuum.
There is no brain in your vacuum.
Hate to break it to you. Here's a practical reference highlighting that fact.
Hey Adam, I recognize this. That is the second experiment on the video.
I can't work that out.
What happened to the first one?
We've got a rocket in a vacuum chamber. We're going to see it expel its gas here in a minute as it attempts to move and prove rockets can fly in a vacuum.
Was the first one too inconvenient for you? You couldn't lie your way around it? Let's have a watch.
Now let's try to ignite it by just holding our laser in one spot. Whoa.
It fits your narrative perfectly, Adam. Why didn't you use this?
I can't work that out.
I call that failure number 1, Adam.
This rocket doesn't move whatsoever until the gases being expelled by it start pushing off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
Can you explain a bit more about that? As far as I know, gas is not very rigid.
There's no walls in space, fantasists, which means your fantasy world of rockets flying through a vacuum is just that, a fantasy. It doesn't move until the gases start pushing off the side wall of the vacuum chamber.
Are you sure about that? Are you absolutely sure? I took the first frame where the gas starts moving and the last frame before it hit the wall. There's definitely movement. That is failure number 2.
There's no walls in space. Therefore, rockets have nothing to push off.
What magic forces would move the energy back from the wall to the rocket?
Nothing.
That is failure number 3.
And as a result, rockets don't work in a vacuum.
Let's travel back in time a few months, where Adam wants to see an air pressure system next to a vacuum. I think the footage you just showed us qualifies. It's an air pressure surrounded by a vacuum. Well done, Adam. That's failure number 4.
This is a practical reference that can be tested and verified by all.
That's a good point. I hadn't, it's sort of a gas pressure without a container. We're actually looking at it, aren't we?
Yeah, that is why I wanted to point it out. He's so adamant that we need a solid barrier. Where is the solid barrier here? It's an air pressure system inside a vacuum.
And that's what creates a thrust, which makes it move. So it's definitely there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's a great representation, a visual here, for fantasists to look at and see that this doesn't move until the gases start to push off the walls of the vacuum chamber.
So, what was the conclusion?
My giant...
Hang on a sec. Wasn't that Where's Wally's buzzer?
That might be... I'm not sure if Wally is used... I don't see that very often on Wally's videos.
No, he doesn't use it that much these days, but he has.
I have
used
been
it a lot.
using it for over a year, that's for sure. But I might not have been the original user of
I
that.
always say if you use it 3 times, it's yours. So.
Anyone can use it. It's free somewhere on YouTube where I got it from.
Yeah, probably the old buzzer, Wally says. Well, people watching, this is, if you haven't seen Action Labs, this is the guy on Action Labs. I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, this is what he does. So he's really good. Look him up.
Absolutely.
vacuum chamber worked perfect for testing out how rockets can fly in space.
Oops. You selected a part of the video to try and fit your lies. Failed to do so, and debunked both your current statement and a previous statement in the process.
Yeah, so in other words, by not showing, he's seen the first video, because you can't see the second one without seeing the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And as a result, oh, you're frozen. Oh no, this is I'm looking at the video.
That was a very Adam moment, what you did right there.
Yes. So he's seen the first one, ignored it, even because it's not convenient to him, as you said, and then showed the second one, but made a point that's contradicted by the first one. So he's deliberately lying.
Yep, absolutely. But the first video, if you look at the shadow on the bottom, that's why I put an arrow there, you see actually the gas moving toward the wall, and then it starts moving fast. I didn't even do the frame-by-frame reference because he never referenced that part, but it would fit his narrative. But he's not using it because he probably didn't see the shadow.
Yep. Why are people putting James in the chat? Wally and
because that is the name of Action Lab.
Oh, right. Yes, that's who it is. Right. Yes. Action Lab's what you need to know, because that's how you can look up his channel. So make sure you have a look.
Do you know what I would call that?
Absolutely fucking pointless.
Right on. Thanks, Del. Now let's see.
I love Dell as a mouse.
I think I got those clips from the shills from Dick. The book Conspiracy deals with this.
Another great video from Level Earth Observer, where he showed a clip from Action Lab evincing that a rocket will not work in a vacuum.
And of course, you analyzed the video thoroughly, and you're now here to prove him wrong, right? Right?
Therefore, a rocket would never be able to go to what they claim is outer space.
Oh dear. Alicia? He just saw the video and didn't think for himself. Is that good? Nein, das ist nicht gut. Nein. Switching language. He must think for himself. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. He did not, did he? No.
I haven't explored this issue for a long time, so this was a lot of fun to see.
You still haven't really explored this issue now.
It can't be more obvious. The makeshift rocket doesn't move until the gases hit the wall of the vacuum chamber.
Except,
It's only obvious if you don't know what you're looking at. To boost conspiracies like that, oh, I see something that suits what I want to believe, therefore it must be true.
yeah, without analyzing. But he goes even further.
But just before we go on that, it's I can see how people get fooled by this. You know, what they're saying is, oh, it doesn't move until it hits the walls of the chamber. But they don't think that, well, how the hell does the force from that come back to the rocket, you know?
Yeah, and if you watch at full speed, you don't see it move. You really have to analyze it frame by frame to see it happen.
As you showed, yeah.
Yeah. That it did move. You're just repeating a lie.
It needs something to push off of. As I was searching for the original source video, I found a similar one. Take a look.
Oh, here we go again.
Again, the model rocket engine does not produce any movement until it has something to push off of.
Now it's only fair if I perform the same standard to your video as I did to Adam's video. And what do you know? Movement before gas hits the wall. Some flat earthers will now start to cry and complain it's so little compared to the movement in the end. To that I will simply say, look at the difference in trust. Same goes for the previous video, it's just easier visualized in this one. I'm getting a headache here, so I'm taking a break. It's easy to say it's because of the flat earthers, but it's really the light from this webcam shining into my eyes. Maybe both. Yeah.
I never understood the point of this break. Or is this how you segue into Mikey?
I literally got a headache. I recorded that while having a headache. I came back hours later and just continued on and said I come back with the magical filmmaking. But it really happened that way.
What, you mean you move through time? Wow.
Did I have to put it in the video? No, I just wanted to because it's fun.
I thought there was a point behind it, but if it's just
no,
fun,
absolutely
just
no
like
point. But it's a nice break point for you because now it's Mikey and you don't.
Mikey Smith.
Sorry, what did you say?
It's a nice break point for you because now it's only Mikey and not Level Observer anymore. So.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we'll leave
So
it.
it actually had a point in the end. Turns out now.
You did it just for me. Wonderful.
Woohoo!
I'm trying to think. All right, so I try to keep these between 30 and 45 minutes. There's one more video I was thinking of having a look at where he basically is rude to Simon Dan. We got time. Let's have a quick look. Hang on, I'll make it bigger.
And I haven't seen this one yet. So
Yeah.
it's new for me.
We'll get your live comments.
First, we're going to entertain this silliness from Simon Dan. And then we're going to finish off with the only ever scientific demonstration that has been cited by Simon Dan to prove the globe Earth theory. But first, Dan?
My name is Dan. My friends call me Simon Dan. 3 years ago, we...
Didn't Leo call him Simon Dan? That makes Leo his friend.
Uh-oh. I call him Dan.
The first season of the Simon Dan Show. Yes, we use science, education, and logic to explain.
You've never...
So in case you don't understand what's going on here, this is a video for a Kickstarter that Simon Dan's doing to fund his documentaries that he wants to do for what he calls the Simon Dan Show. There's already been a season of that. You can look it up on his channel. And that's the context for Leo's comments.
Use science. You've never been educational, and you've never used any kind of logical thought. When the...
Leo is just projecting, isn't he?
Uh-huh.
When myself, you lie, misrepresent, and fantasize, thankfully not about me, about the globe Earth theory. You just...
I've got very
Again?
basic understanding, so you might have to bear with me.
Yep, he's projecting again. All first project, don't they?
That's what he does best. Or at all.
justify it through defense of space fails. So there's never been any science, education, or logic, Dan. Just pantomime.
Explore a tiny fraction of the wonderful world we live in.
Bless him.
I just realised we should have started the pantomime counter.
Ooh,
We're
yes,
probably
a
up
bit,
to
bit
10
late
by
now.
Yeah. I'll do that next fortnight.
Good idea.
I want to look into the eyes of a propagandist here.
Of the wonderful world we live in.
Now, does this man... Do you trust this man? Does this man look trustworthy? Sorry about that, folks. That's pretty creepy. In fact, does this hair
Yes, it is creepy.
cut look trustworthy?
He asked if his hair was trustworthy.
A grown man focusing on such details of someone else's looks. That's creepy,
It's
Adam.
schoolyard stuff, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The answer is no on both counts.
Now, it's time for season 2. Yes, if you want to see new interviews, new locations, actual science experiments, and a whole lot of debunking, support the new episodes on Kickstarter. As you support the creation of season 2, you will unlock many fun rewards for yourselves. Yes, from reviews to experiments, bigger events, large-scale documentaries, special episodes, and even guest stars. Go to Kickstarter, select your pledge, and let's make season 2 of the Simon and Dan Show together.
So what's the problem?
Reward. The more you pick, the more reward.
Sorry, you wanted to say something?
What's the problem? People who give him money know what they're giving money for, and they will see that as a result in the end, so it's definitely not a scam. What's the problem, Adam?
Oh, I think he'll explain that.
Yeah.
But not very well.
What you unlock? Wow. Money, money, money. It's obvious Dan's only interested in money. Look at his Kickstarter.
Well, that's your opinion, Leo. It's not obvious. He's trying to do something, and Kickstarters are towards a particular goal, which he's explained what the goal is and how he's going to get there.
Okay.
And he does YouTube professionally. This is how he feeds his family. So, you know, he's not going to just take food out of their mouths to do this. He's trying to do a new project, and he wants to get other people involved. And if they want to do that, that's up to them. I think if Leo did something similar, he wouldn't be making the same complaints about his own actions, would he?
No, absolutely not. Actually, that £9,000 is not even that much. I was expecting more. I really haven't looked into this at all before.
It's pretty cheap to get to Mars, though.
Yeah, but how many episodes are we talking about that Dan is planning?
I don't know. I haven't watched this video all the way through.
Okay.
Because I don't have any money right now, but otherwise I'll be thinking about it.
But considering that he needs to plan stuff, travel places, and do his work as well on those videos, maybe pay other people to do other stuff for those videos, I don't know. £9,000 is not that much for a few videos.
Yeah, it's probably more travel and accommodation and things like that to go to particular facilities so we can film particular experiments. So, you know, like LIGO, for example. I don't know if Dan's wanting to go to LIGO, but that's what I would be thinking about as an experiment. So,
Start a promotion here. Blast off £1,000, and Dan will reward us all with a video where he addresses flat Earth clips on TikTok. The moon goal at £4,500, and then Dan will react to a flat earther social APP. I have no idea what that is. And then look at the top one.
APP.
yes. That's probably Durst app, I guess.
This was really a boomer action, Adam.
Yes. And he's not even a boomer, so. What was I going to say here? Flat Earth clips on TikTok. Well, on YouTube, he probably makes more than £1,000 from any such video he releases. So, I don't know how he's going to do that, but if I watch the whole video, I'll probably find out, I imagine.
Probably. Let's go.
£9,000. Once Dan's pocketed £9,000, he'll then try Rocket League. Oh, so kind of you, Dan. So generous.
This is not Dan pocketing £9,000. It's an investment that he is also making in stuff. Maybe not the whole amount, because he also, like you said, needs to feed his family. But a large portion of that goes investing in the upcoming videos.
Yeah.
For that series that he's talking about.
I'm not quite sure what Rocket League is, though. Maybe I'm being in boomer.
It's a game.
Oh, is it?
I've never played it, but it is a game.
A bit like KSP, or?
Like I said, I never played it.
Okay.
Rocket League.
Let's just look at the only scientific demonstration that's ever come from Simon and Dan to try and prove the globe Earth theory. First, we've got this infamous clip, and then we've got Dan's scientific demonstration.
Gigantic pendulums do not have the ability to be dead still. On a non-windy day, with a rotating, wobbling, oscillating cannonball is doing ridiculous speeds in all different directions.
This has been addressed by Dan.
You gotta love him for that. So I pushed him for his physical demonstration, and finally, we got one from the scientific man known as Dan. So did I get a demonstration involving a pendulum that would prove tower cranes could be dead still and plumb whilst doing ludicrous speeds in at least 4 different directions? No, this is the demonstration I got from Simon Dan. This was the physics he says so, and all it is a physical demonstration of Danny running away.
I bet Leo wishes he had the fitness to run like Dan.
Me too.
Of course, me, I just go for a roll. So.
But from the viewpoint of the camera, he's walking towards it, not away. Adam,
Yes.
you got it wrong again.
Adam got something wrong? Oh, Judy Bassett's given me just a heart for €7. Thank you very much, Judy. I'll send your hearts back at you. Sorry, where's this scientific demonstration that Leo was talking about? Or is that coming up?
I don't remember
Moment,
this
it's just-
part of the video that Dan did back then, but
Yeah. Well, there's only a few seconds left, so...
Ridiculous. You said physics says so, but the only physicality we got from the top boy who represents the globe online was him running away.
Oh, Dan's the top boy now.
Yep.
I thought Flurf said Neil deGrasse Tyson was.
They
Then again,
cannot make up their minds.
And of course, he said top boy. The top man is me, of course, because there's so much of me. I'm several
Yeah, but
men at once.
But aren't you on bottom?
On what?
On the bottom.
I'm also on the top.
Oh,
I stretch over several continents.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. It's 3 seconds left. I don't think we're going to see the only scientific demonstration that Leo was referring to. So, not sure what that's about. Leo, just as you said, he's wrong again. So,
Yeah.
let's jump to memes.
Ooh.
Memes roundup. How do flat earthers travel on a plane? It's a real dad joke, that one.
That's a real dad joke, yep.
Yeah. And where's the dome, you know? I like it. That's the biggest question about the flat earth model that Flurfs have to answer. Where does the sun go at night? They say it moves away, but obviously it moves from the west to the east somehow. How does it get there? They sort of tend to say, well, it must go underneath the earth, but they seem to discount that. And they're saying, oh, no, it's just too far to see. All right, well, that at some point, it must be moving back to the east. First of all, why? Second of all, why can't we see it at night? With a telescope.
Magic.
Magic seems to be the main response.
Yeah. Because we can see stars that are supposedly further away than the sun, but the sun is not visible. I don't know.
Yeah, the sun's supposed to be inside the dome from most people who talk about this. So they're close. The sun is closer than the stars. So I don't know. None of it makes sense.
No.
And I think this is more a debunker meme, flying straight and level around the flat Earth equator. Because if you're following east on the Discworld, you have to be constantly turning.
Ah, that's what they're doing. Okay. Huh. Yeah. Not very good meme.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a small one.
Water always lies flat. Water always finds its level. Well, water doesn't always lie flat because waves. It does find its level. We agree because locally, it's always about it. Gravity will pull it to the center of the Earth, but it does that all over the globe.
Yeah, but their level is not what really level is. That's the problem.
Use their own definition of level, and they don't seem to understand that there's a different word for flat for a reason. If they meant the same thing, why would you have a different word? Congrats, your Flat Earth movie was just nominated for an award. Which one? The Golden Globes. Yeah, we should try and nominate Hibbler's Level With Me series for a Golden Globe and see what happens.
Oh, I think you will have no reply.
Ever wondered why a rainbow is shaped like a dome? Well, here's your answer.
Okay, that's a very small dome then, suddenly.
Well, yeah, it's incredibly local. And I don't have the image handy, but sometimes skydivers can see a rainbow from above, and it's just a circle on the ground.
It's a circle, yeah.
Their perspective. Yeah.
I've seen those pictures.
So that would mean the dome is below them. So how come they didn't hit it?
Ooh, that's gonna
These
hurt.
are things flat earthers need to answer. But they just ignore them. So.
Of course.
They created this lie, so you fall for this. I have no idea what that's meant to mean. I think that's meant to mean evolution, is it?
Evolution into aliens? I don't know.
It looks like it.
Huh.
I don't see the connection personally. And that ignores all the evidence for evolution. So the Turtle Moves put my name and then nothing else. Did you half finish your comment?
Maybe the enter key was in the way. It happens to me sometimes as well.
I've done that, yeah. Debunking Earth Curve. Oh, this is hilarious. 60 miles, 100 k's or so from Indiana State Park to the Chicago skyline. Missing curvature. Yes, well, that's that high, but where's the bottom of these buildings?
Yeah, I was about to say, I missed something else. It's the bottom of all those buildings.
And of course, this ignores refraction.
Yep.
Self-debunk. They've debunked their debunking.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, Turtle Moose was saying my personal dome is much bigger than his. Well, yes, it has to be, doesn't it?
It has to be, absolutely. You must fit inside.
Yes. Otherwise, yeah, I'm sort of squished up against the dome. All right, and I think that's pretty much me round up for today.
Oh, that was quick.
Well, like I said, I didn't have that many this morning today, but where's Wally didn't give me any today, so that's... but if you've got a fun meme you see, please send it to me and I'll show it on the stream if it's fit for general consumption. Contact details are in the description of this video. Mr. 42, thank you so much for joining me.
You're most welcome, and thanks for having me. Yeah,
and don't forget, click the link in the description and give him a bit of screen time so that we can get his hours up. In 2 weeks' time, I'll be looking at Level Earth Observer again. Would you like to join me for that?
I will try to see if I have the time for it. I have a bit of a schedule with the little one and stuff, but we will work that out on the background together.
All right, well, you don't have to. I just thought I'd offer.
Oh, I want to.
I've been glad to have you. It's been great. Thank you so much for being my guest.
Thank you.
All right, so... folks, let me know who you'd like me to look at in the near future by leaving a comment below. I appreciate all suggestions. For tomorrow, I'm going to have a look at Expat Taffy. He hasn't done much for about 8 months, so I hope he's still alive. Regardless, he's left us a gold mine of dirt to laugh at. And if any members would like to join me sometime on the stream, let me know. Contact details in the description. And Dave McKeegan will be joining me at some point in the near future once we figure out a mutually convenient time.
That's cool.
And also another special guest is upcoming. Once we work that out, I told Mr. 42 about it, but I'm going to keep it secret for now.
I know, and I'm not going to say a word.
Yes. And Blue Marble Science, I'd love to have you on at some point, so we'll see if we can arrange that. Do the YouTube things, like the stream. I always make that mistake. Subscribe. Click. Oh, that's why I'm doing it. Yeah. Click the join button and become a member like everyone else. Leave a comment. I love to read your comments. In particular, if you're one of the few who watch my videos who aren't subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button below this video on your screen. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And I think that just about does it. There's nothing left to do but cue the corgi.
You're